Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, maybe. Nope. Hey.
Coming up today on the chat, the royal family faux pas. What LeBron James did that has a lot of people talking. Plus, she's been called the world's most beautiful girl. Why her mother is under fire. Dr. Richard Marks on the signs of a successful relationship. And
15.
Paul Coughlin with tips on how to relieve stress. The chat, it all starts right now.
10. Stand by. My cue.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the chat. I'm Casey DeSantis, and on the
Choose
show
it.
today, Charlene, Hetty, Lienza, and Tony. So we start with the roaring
3.
reception the Royals received in New York City last night, specifically at the Cleveland Cavaliers New York Nets game. The
Videos
couple
up.
sat courtside and had the chance to meet celebrities like Beyonce and Jay-Z before watching the game. They also had the chance to meet LeBron James, and that's where a lot of the talk is this afternoon.
Oh, I've been seen.
During this meeting between Will, Kate, and LeBron, where the couple received their Cavaliers jersey,
Yes.
LeBron, there you go, LeBron put his arm around Kate, which is a big no-no. Apparently is really frowned upon on the other side of the pond, and we haven't seen anything like this since First Lady Michelle Obama put her arm around the Queen. Few people have ever navigated into that territory before that picture. So what does everybody
Simple
think,
Kim.
first of all, about the Royals being in town? Are we interested? Are we as intrigued as it makes it out to be in the
2.
media, like that America's captivated by the
1.
Royals? No. Are we supposed to?
Maybe if I lived in New York,
I
Two.
think in New York,
I care,
yeah.
but I don't care. But however, I'm very
1.
surprised to see that LeBron was allowed to keep his arm around her
2.
as long as he did.
Oh, what were they
Just
gonna
around.
do? Like
Twitter
be
response?
A big bouncer.
1.
He's not in a club. He's just.
4.
Oh, that's against policy.
Oh, this is so stupid.
I don't think it's
Well,
like
you have to
written
see the
policy.
rules and you have to
1.
go by them. But I've watched the video over
2.
and over and over to see and try to hear
1.
when they said.
Okay, we got a Twitter response
But all of a sudden he
from
changed his-
LeBron.
Oh, so some-
King
yeah.
James.
So someone
Oh,
said something.
Well,
LeBron's
did
totally.
They took the picture though, right? And his arm
2.
was around. Yeah, this is so ridiculous.
Her. I mean, there was like a little.
They were taking a picture of LeBron
1.
fans. He's not like Avril Lavigne.
LeBron
He's
is
not-
fans.
He-
I
no,
heard
he
up too
needs
much.
fans.
Oh, okay.
Four.
And they take pictures.
Yes,
That's
of
all.
course.
The whole thing is so ridiculous.
I bet she
don't
liked
even.
it.
She
1.
probably did.
She did.
I would
To
like.
have
I would
the
like
Two.
if LeBron would put his arm around.
I mean, it was a
So
lot of
would
royalty
I.
there. You had King James,
3.
and then you had the prince, and the
Yes.
princess, and I mean,
Yes.
there you go.
Jay,
What is the
B,
video
I
of?
mean,
I would love to have been
Just
fly on
generic
the
video
walls,
of them
to
At the
in
game?
America.
conversation.
No,
Oh,
not
no,
at the,
don't.
Well, it's a little
And
bit at the game,
to
but it's
hear-
mostly
2.
in New York
What do
City
they
or
have to
something.
talk about?
Well, they
What do
both
they
have
have coming?
they both have babies. They're both parents.
4.
You know, so
Yo,
like.
what's up, man? You got my new track?
1.
I
It's really
bet
normal. You know,
2.
it's really so normal and boring.
Yeah.
That I'm
3.
so disappointed.
Like, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you
Yeah.
too.
how are you doing?
And then
I
she
2.
decided to have a conversation.
Didn't you
What
hear
was
the
that
conversation that the prince had with
1.
the president? It was all about
4.
when Prince George was born, and he was just talking about being nervous and yada. It was
about?
boring.
I bet he was
2.
like, man, that was
I
a dope
bet.
album.
1.
1986
Yeah,
was dope.
sure.
I just think
2.
it was cool that there
3.
were so many royals in town, and I don't know what happened
8.
to my
2.
application. I have a
Lost
frown.
my
1.
mail, girl.
You do.
Like,
You
I
have
would
a
just like to
crown.
know what our founding
I'm
fathers.
a royal fan.
3.
Brown
Okay.
now.
It's so soft.
Yeah, by the way, that is very pretty. I would just like
1.
to know what our founding fathers would think of this royal
2.
reception. Like everyone going nuts, allegedly, over the royal
3.
family.
Do you
What would our
think it's too
founding
much?
fathers would have thought about that?
2.
I don't know.
Well, especially
Listen,
given
I
the
don't think
fact of
any-
why we have founding fathers
3.
and why we left.
Right. Okay, so
2.
another
Well,
story.
why we crossed the pond.
Right.
They
This
were
whole
like,
taxation
see
without
ya.
representation
Just keep
stuff.
it
We didn't like
relevant.
that so much,
3.
so we started our own country. Okay, so there's another story.
Thanks for the
that-
recap,
You're
Kate.
welcome. Just had to throw that in there.
3.
Uh,
What is happening?
All right, so there is a mother that's in the news a lot of recent, and she is from across the pond as well, and she is the mother of a child supermodel dubbed the most beautiful girl in the world, and she's coming under fire. But now she is firing back at critics who say that she is over-sexualizing her daughter. Her
Video's
daughter,
up.
seen here, is just 9 years old, but has become a worldwide sensation as she has posed for high-end fashion designers like Vogue and Armani. And critics say she is exploiting and using her daughter. Furthermore, some have said that the mother is sexualizing her daughter after these pictures showed up in particular on the internet. The mother took those showing her legs, short shorts. She was sitting on the bed in the previous picture. So before we get into what the mom says about all of this, what do you think about the allegations that she is over-sexualizing or sexualizing her daughter at all in these photographs?
2.
Y'all know how I am.
1.
I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
She's starting her daughter off early. As we all know, mom was a
2,
model or is a model as well. She's trying to start her daughter off early.
1,
Daughter is drop dead gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. And I just think, of course there is a
2,
line, but I just don't think, her tiptoe is on that line, but
1,
she hasn't crossed it yet in my eyes. Now keep in mind,
2,
the Victoria's Secret model Giselle, she started her modeling
6.
career when
1,
she was only 14. Now 9, 14, 5-year difference. However, that was young as well. And she is the
2,
highest paid model in the
4,
world. So
And
get your money,
today's
baby.
9
2,
is yesterday's 14. I'm telling you, it does start that early. Not just with the modeling careers, but
1,
with the way that bodies are developing and everything
Ooh,
else.
yes.
I'm not raising young women. I'm raising young
4,
men who I want to have
2,
respect for the women that they see, or the young women that they see, and the girls that they're
1,
in classes with and stuff like that. But I have friends that are raising young girls who are in dance classes, gymnastics classes, who have rockin' bodies.
2,
And it's not necessarily sexualizing, and that's their
1,
body. I think the case becomes that whether or not this woman markets them, the
2,
mother markets them in that way.
Well,
And
she
these are
won't
just
even allow.
Facebook pages.
She
aren't
won't
you?
even allow her to have
1,
makeup on though. The mom even says when we do the
4,
pictures, I will not allow her to have makeup on because she doesn't feel that.
And she's
think the
wearing
mom
what
is-
every other girl her age is wearing.
2,
So you guys are
3,
not criticizing the mom at
Yeah,
all.
whatever.
So you say
I
all the
like
fire that she's coming under, you say
Charlene
is
hasn't
ridiculous.
talked yet.
I agree with the mom. If
And we
you
haven't
think
supered
these
her, I
pictures
think.
are that
Yeah, I
way,
gave
it's
up
on
supering.
you.
I
it's
moved
on
past
the person
names.
looking at them, and that is wrong. And I would be like her. I would
1,
stand very firm and say, you know what, you're not going to scare me from my beautiful girl
2,
and modeling pictures that are innocent because
4,
you have a nasty mind.
Well, but I'm
2,
leaning towards what Henny said. She's
Oh, you
walking
get
a
her?
fine line
3,
in some of the pictures. So I did go to the
2, yeah. I
Facebook,
got it.
take the web.
Pull
that up.
page, and there were some pictures that I was like,
Yeah,
and
don't worry about it.
Yeah, yes.
And we all kind of went,
I think
maybe
it's the
that's
one
it.
that's kind of in the center, right? There's
There's
a
that one,
Is
and then
that
there's-
red lipstick that she has on in that
She
picture?
did say she allows her to wear lip
Lip
balm.
gloss.
Lip gloss or lip balm
Yeah,
on
that
there.
lip gloss, that bright
But
red.
there were a couple that
these
I was
also
Worse
like,
than tiaras and whatever
These are
babies
not-
are,
and
the
that's
thing
the
is
thing,
called.
is the mom
Tiaras
saying,
and
hey, pose in this way, or
toddlers
is
and
it the
tiaras.
Armanis
Yeah,
of the
there
world
you
who
go.
are paying her to do that?
Those are
Probably
data
one of the
things.
moms of the world. But I
Mom
say,
should have discretion, though.
I just
2,
think with the mom, when she
4.
says it's on the people looking at these
4,
pictures and what is in your mind. And I'm tired of having to worry
1,
about what we put our little girls in because of the creeps looking. I mean,
2,
we can't control those creeps, but the
4,
more if we take it, if we stop our girls from dressing like little girls, then we
1,
add fuel to the fire and we say the fear is going to win, and I don't think the fear should win.
Oh, where's your poll? Shoot.
That really the bottom line is
There it is, okay.
With all of our children, young men,
1,
young women, and even for ourselves as adults, it becomes an issue of empowerment. And when that 9-year-old or 12-year-old or 14-year-old stops feeling empowered to say no, to say, this doesn't feel right
1,
for me, I'm not okay with this, I feel like I'm being objectified or whatever. But as parents, we do have to look out for them, and we do
2,
have to see it through a different set of eyes. And
3,
we live in a sick world, so it's a very fine line that we're
1,
forced to cross on a
She's training her daughter to be a great model.
2.
That's the way I look at it.
Okay, well, we really want to know, because I know there's some other thoughts out there, and so weigh in
I
on
got the
Facebook
web
page,
for
and
you.
also tweet us at Tweet the Chat, hashtag the chat, and we've also posted Twitter.
Here you go.
I was going to let that one go, but
3,
we've also posted a poll on the website, ladies at the chat.com, and weigh in, and we'll
Honey,
reveal
it's
some of
only
the removables.
Tuesday.
Yeah, you get away with nothing on this show.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness gracious. Hot seat.
Instead,
All right, well, if you find
3,
yourself a little bit grumpier than usual, you know, it may have been a result of the traffic that you were
3,
sitting in, and it's not necessarily a result of you, because research has discovered that the more time people spend commuting to and from work, the less likely they are to be satisfied with their life. Long journey times were also unsurprisingly linked to an increased sense of time pressure with less time spent on hobbies, including exercise. What do you guys think about this? Now, we're kind of blessed because
2,
we do have some traffic problems, but not like the LAs and the New York
and the
Cities of the
Three.
world.
Yeah.
And the Atlantis.
But
It
y'all
still
done
is
gone
gotten
through a whole
worse.
lot with your commute. You be kind of frustrated coming in
Yeah,
with foolishness.
this is the first time that I've had to commute during rush hour. I mean, I commute obviously to work, but I
2,
mean, I'm going to work at 4:30, quarter to
1,
5 in the morning, and then I don't do rush hour. But this is
4,
the first time after the show, and it is so aggravating, and I totally get road rage. I
2,
get it completely. I
1,
swear these people, I swear they're not like
4,
the ones I think they don't care on the roads, and they're idiots and don't pay attention, and the rest of them are texting and on the phone.
Well, I think they
You know,
care, but they have so much to do. They're trying to use that time
I
in the
don't
car to get things done.
I don't
Here's
know.
Two.
I
something
see a
very-
lot of people on their phones.
So do
Well,
I.
I do get it because now I'm in
One.
that rush hour, and I do get out of there. When, like,
That was
oh
the
my
funniest
God, I
face
just
from
love it.
Charlene.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to enter this world of
Two.
driving again because I haven't
One.
been driving here in
Right.
Jacksonville at all since moving here for many different reasons. But I'm
Two.
embarking on the DMV
DWI.
and I'm buying a car this
Three.
week and I'm doing the
Please
thing.
tell.
And
Please
I
tell
swear, yesterday as I sat
One.
in my sweet little Uber with my little man with the water bottle there ready for me and the
Two.
peppermints and the radio was on and I was talking on my phone. I'm like,
Three.
"Can I leave this little
I
boy?"
know, no, you don't.
And there was
Two.
traffic.
So you can be behind Tony.
Three.
There was
Four.
horrible traffic because of protesters on the
Two.
bridges and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
You know, everybody
So-
says if I won
One.
the lottery, what I would do? I
Three.
would buy a driver.
A driver?
That would be it. That would be the
Yeah,
first
you've
thing.
always
A car
said that.
service.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I want to
One.
live in Leanne's world.
Yeah.
I know, I
Three.
just don't want to pay for it. I hate driving.
Two.
I hate being on the road. I hate dealing with people.
One.
I hate traffic lights.
Let me
Hey,
tell you,
weather?
when I
It's a driver.
When I was in
Two.
news, I worked off hours, so I didn't
Right,
really ever have to deal
right.
with traffic. And then
Three.
when we went to work, and you and I both worked at the PGA Tour, we were in traffic, and I drove 50 minutes
Two.
each way.
Really?
And now that I have a home office,
Three.
my commute is from the coffee pot
Yeah,
up
it's a
the
great
stairs to
commute.
my office.
Nice.
In your jammies.
Best.
Two.
Now I wear a little
That's
little
an
yoga
envious.
clothes around the house.
Three.
I wear little
Okay,
comfies
okay.
unless I have to
That's an
go see a
envious
client.
commute.
Two.
It's the best decision I ever
Right.
made. And my business has grown to the point where
Three.
I could now go get an office and I have
Good for
people
you.
working with me. But I'm like,
Okay.
do I really
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
drive
yeah.
somewhere and
No.
go into an office?
You know, until now, I've always had this
One.
rule for myself that when I go for a new job, when I apply for a job,
We
or
can
whatever,
put
it
in this
cannot
tweet,
be that far out,
Mm.
because
Nicole.
I'm just
Okay.
not willing
One.
to spend the
Where do
energy,
you got it?
the frustration,
I'm about to add
the
it
gas,
right
right,
after
to get there
8:18.
every day. God
There you
forbid
go.
there's an accident or
Right.
whatever. I just
I
can't.
think
So
Kenny
I've been
just
blessed.
told
You can
everyone
move
he's
on.
looking for a new
As
job.
an adult
Two.
has always been within 15 minutes of my house.
Oh.
That's not, you know
One.
when you go online and you fill out the thing that
Three.
says, you know, whatever it is that you're,
I
looking
wasn't
for a dry
listening.
cleaner within
Yeah, you
5
Two.
to 10
Said
miles
he's
or whatever.
looking
I'm like,
for a new
one
job.
to
Wait,
two.
before we go to
Getting
break, I
it
want to
close
get
to
this
my
other story
house.
in here because
Three.
speaking of stress, there's another
Two.
study out there that a lot of people are talking about, and it says that checking your email,
Three.
yes, checking your email can actually relieve stress. And the idea is here
Unless
is
it's
that
from
by
Bonnie.
checking it 3 times a day,
Watch
it
it.
can have a significant positive
She's in the
impact
building
on your
somewhere.
mental health. The study compared this to checking their emails or your emails more than once a day, like multiple times. They say that's negative to your health, but 3
Two.
times is better than not checking at all. What do you think?
I agree.
Checking your emails.
I wish I could
Right.
only check it 3 times a day. On the
They said
weekends,
to-
I try to make the rule
Three.
of no more than
Well,
checking in the morning,
three.
checking at night, just in case, you know. And people, my clients know, or my people I work with know that they need to get me. They can text me,
One.
always text me. But
Yeah.
I mean, I check it so much
Two.
during the day. I mean, I'm constantly checking.
Do you
it.
find that you're stressed
Three.
though when you're always finding
Well,
those things,
you
and then
know
you
what-
have to address
You
it
know
at that
what I
point in
find?
time?
I don't know that it's a stress, but I start getting into
Three.
this instant reaction mode.
Yes.
Yes.
Where I feel like I have to respond
Two.
right
Yes.
away. And you know, sometimes I've made mistakes where I've copied the wrong
Three.
person on there, or I've responded very quickly and then realized,
Two.
oh wait, maybe now that I thought about it, maybe I should say this instead. So I think you do have to be careful that
What
you're
is
not
it
getting
about?
into that like hurried, reactive kind. It can
Three.
wait.
Yep.
Well, and that
Okay.
maybe then
Think
leads to
about it.
stress
Two.
if you
Yeah.
carbon
Thank
copy
you.
somebody that you shouldn't. And that's why the research was saying if you put it into 3 groups during the day and you just,
Three.
instead of checking it every second and just like, maybe at 9 a.m. every morning I'm going to check. Maybe at 2 I'm going to check, and maybe before I go to bed I'm going to
Two.
check, and that's better.
Let me tell you, that week I was on the cruise.
One.
I couldn't check, and it was heavy.
Four.
It was like a big weight lifted off
Is
my
it just me or
shoulders.
is this over?
It was so wonderful. I
One,
could not
yeah,
check,
this is over.
and it was great.
You can wrap.
Because you were eating lobster
Two.
and flaming out,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, slacker.
Alright.
When I was doing my
One.
research,
Sympathy.
Very
I
good.
came across this statement that is so true. And it says, those who check
Two.
their emails or took phone calls from their bosses in the evenings and on weekends were more likely
One.
to complain of insomnia, headaches, fatigue,
Ulcers.
anxiety, and stomach problems. And that is
Two.
so true.
There you go.
So
All
true.
right. Well, still, that's a very, I
Three.
I don't want any of you emailing me for the
I
rest of the day.
Still coming up on the chat, if you are stressed out over all
Roll
the
name.
email talk or whatnot, we have got some moves that can make you feel it much better. We're going to talk to a yoga instructor, Paula Copeland. She is here to show us how you can relieve your stress. Plus, what are
Whoever
some
name.
of your dating deal breakers? We're going to share the list of the top things that people say that can end a relationship quickly. And
Whoever
are the
name.
holidays one of those deal breakers? Our relationship
Stand by
expert,
camera
Dr.
two.
Mark, discusses why people break up the 2 weeks before Christmas than any other time of the year. We'll be right back.
Two is out. And A. Take a break. Oh, I've never heard that part of the music before.
Mhm. Fingernails. They're not very functional. There we go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So my casing, Mikey.
Welcome back to the chat. If you've ever been out on a date, you know some can be good and some can be not so good. BuzzFeed has released a list of the top good reasons, well, they say good reasons, as to why things didn't work out on a first date or dates for that matter. So see if you agree with the list. First one, it says smoking. That's a deal breaker for a date. Open to open relationships. That's another deal breaker. If they check, okay, we can add that one. If they don't get along with your family or friends, and finally, if they don't want to get married, those are all deal breakers.
I agree with all those, but y'all know me.
1.
They're missing a big, big, big one.
Oh, kids.
No.
No. Oh. No. What is it?
2.
They gotta love God.
Oh, okay.
That's a
Well,
good one.
If
they
God is
have the
not
same.
first in their life, then they can't
And
be
this
first
is from a
in
lady
mine.
who
So for
has
you,
a seller.
having the
Mhm.
same religion
Two.
and having faith, that's a big
Faith,
one for you.
absolutely, absolutely.
One.
You know what it is?
One of the questions
That was
wasn't it?
that was
Two.
a deal breaker.
Faith?
Yeah, that's it.
Three.
That was
So
a
is
big
it for
one.
you? Interesting, but Penny, is it that they just they are faithful people, or that you share your
2.
Faithful.
I'm off headset.
Okay, so
I gotta
it's
change
one of
batteries.
the same.
As long as they serve a God and they
Okay.
pray and they believe in
I'm
it,
off headset. I gotta change batteries.
Two.
They serve a God,
Okay.
but what if it's not your God?
One.
It's the
Okay.
God of your understanding, really, because that's a deal breaker for me.
okay.
Okay,
Like,
you
we-
want the same religion.
Yes,
Two.
absolutely. I need to be in that like-minded spiritual
They're talking
relationship
about
as-
this?
especially as a parent.
1.
Even if it's, I don't necessarily doctrines, like whether it's Catholic.
But I do
versus
feel like it's an
Buddhist,
excellent point. That
whatever, but
ruins a lot of
I
relationships.
don't see
2.
myself
Yeah.
dating
If-
someone who worships Allah
1.
when I worship Jesus or God. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
I get
big
you.
one for
Two,
you.
it's-
Yeah.
That's
Politics
like
is a
or
big one,
Mormon
too.
When I
or
got married,
whatever.
But I don't like the way she said Allah.
But I want you to share
Yeah, I'm
my
back.
faith. I don't want to be sitting in the pew every Sunday by myself.
Yeah.
So as
Okay.
long as you're okay
She
with
didn't
sitting next
say
to
blue.
me.
You know what I told my
2.
boyfriend, you guys? This is
I was getting
awful.
ready to ask you where you were
This is
going.
awful. So you know, I haven't had a boyfriend like in 14 years, right? So,
Wow, okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
We said
One.
just worship me.
So I said, okay, you can do a lot of things. You can gain weight, whatever. You cannot grow a beard. I swear you grow a beard, and I'm
One.
out. Peace out, history. No Dyke Dynasty here for this girl. I
3.
can't stand it.
Of
Four.
all
Eight.
the things in the world.
1.
You
Now,
love a beard.
scruff is good. The scruffy thing,
Oh,
that
the
is
scruff is
awesome
worse
and
than a
hot,
beard.
but
2.
So
beard,
that's the top of your
Duck
list.
Dynasty.
But that has to do with
One.
what you
Oh,
call craft.
3.
Yeah.
And attractiveness is
There you
very
go.
That's a deal breaker?
Oh,
Oh, you're
One.
easy.
Beard,
Well, that's
ew.
interesting because that kind of leads into our next story about Tinder. You know, this app Tinder.
Yes,
Basically, you
yeah.
swipe left. That means you don't like somebody. You swipe right on Tinder, and then that
3.
says I like you, and then that can lead to a relationship. I don't know. I read it.
I was going to say, how do you know this?
I know. I haven't done it.
She
per se.
knows
It wasn't around
every
when I was
topic.
dating.
3. She
I
says the
heard
same
about it
thing.
on
I don't
Instagram.
know what
But
this
what they
is.
said on here is that people prefer metrosexuals and they do kind of what they call the gym bunny, the muscular physique. Do you agree with that?
2.
Do you think that the
Casey's head is
more
covering up
bulkier
the
kind of guys
muscular
are
physique.
kind of being pushed aside to the more metrosexuals?
Well, the guy in the
1.
picture isn't bad. Like, he's not too bulky, and I
The
do
one
like
behind-
the gym
okay.
guy, yeah, because he is boxing, and I like to do that.
Okay,
But
besides that,
I have seen the pictures of the guys shirtless that
One.
put their arms down, and yeah, that's kind of
Who
icky.
take
4.
the selfie in the bathroom, pic
Oh,
the
yeah,
bathroom
yeah,
mirror,
yeah.
like,
No,
look
no,
how
no,
big
that's
I am.
creepy. That is so creepy.
2.
I will say that for me
1.
personally,
Do I have a lower third for
for
this
a
one? Yeah.
family life to have a husband to settle down with, I want the metrosexual. I want
2.
the suit and tie, handsome man. But for some eye
1.
candy and for some 50 Shades of Grey characters, baby, give me that
2.
buff.
what is it about people taking pictures of themselves in the mirror like that? And you see they're taking a
Because they
picture
don't
of
have to ask
themselves.
anyone to
Yeah.
do it. They can
Yeah.
do it themselves.
And then you can see it, but it is so
4.
ugly and bad.
Yeah,
It, like,
yeah.
don't do it. Just find other pictures. I don't care.
What happened to her
Photoshop yourself
mic?
next to a lion,
It's
like
because
Oprah
she's
did. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Oh,
What I
1.
was saying, though,
And
was
she's
what the
she's
survey
actually
said was the
starting to
logic
come over
behind
other
it.
people's
The gym
mics, and
guy
it starts to
was
sound
too
hollow.
focused on
Yeah.
himself and would spend a lot of time in the gym and take
That's
care
why
of
he's
himself.
just good to
But,
look
Two.
at.
but think about it, metrosexual men do the same thing.
Only with
3.
With different, with
grooming,
grooming and
4.
dressing, so I didn't understand really how
2.
they were making that difference.
Actually, the
'cause they-
grooming techniques for the metrosexual could be more expensive in the long
Yeah,
run than
they
it could be
can.
for the guy in the gym.
I
Because of the
married
gym
one-
membership
3.
versus like.
And I married a metrosexual, and I
2.
looked at him and I said, "You're not a project.
great. I don't have to dress you. I don't have to take care of you.
3.
You can take care of it. That was my attraction to him. I do
2 is I don't have to fix you.
Yeah.
One.
It's a 2-for-1
Okay.
special. Perfect.
I will say,
Two.
because of being
Here we
married to
go.
someone who worked in television, I won't,
One.
it's not a personal attack on him.
Well, you could share makeup with him.
But I did
Two.
share makeup.
Dish, Leanne's a dish.
I did share makeup
One.
with him, and we shared the same wax eyebrow
Same
specialists.
beauty.
And, I mean, but that was just, because
One.
the business that we were both in, and whatever.
He waxed his
that's-
eyebrows?
2.
Guys do that?
3.
Yes.
If
She
you
had
had
a
Non-disclosure in her divorce. Don't ask.
2.
do I?
But Henny was looking at you. I mean, you would.
Three.
I mean, you said you like metrosexual, but I mean, if they're waxing their eyebrows and stuff, does that take it too far for you?
Yeah, we have.
1.
What if they have a unibrow and it's
Two.
real? What if they're really bushy? They've
4.
got a caterpillar.
There's
There's a
a-
I will
caterpillar
get in
in
there
there.
There's a
Some
wax
tweezers.
stick that a certain makeup line carries that will lay them suckers down in whatever shape you want.
You can
We're gonna
rap.
get a whole lot of
Two.
that.
Okay.
What he does behind the bathroom door, I don't want to know. And what, as long as he comes out
And if
looking
it
like
takes
he
longer
does,
than you in the
Definitely do
bathroom,
not take a
that's a problem.
selfie of what.
Just don't grow a beard.
4.
There you go. Back to the original point. If you're gonna date Tony, do not grow a
3.
beard. All right. Well, still to come here on the chat. No
2.
matter how you love your significant other, the holidays, according to research, can put a strain
3.
on any kind of relationship. Our relationship expert, Dr. Marks, is going to join us to discuss why. Plus, jumpstarting your career in 2015 from Career Source Northeast Florida, Candace Moody is going to join us with some tips, and we'll be right back.
Let's go with 7. And take it. Alright. Candace is in. Leanne's is out. Five, 4,
About what?
3, 2, 1. Mike,
Well,
you.
here's a little good cheer as we enter the holiday season. According to some economists, the outlook for 2015 is on track to be better than 2014, but not by much. And it's still a really tough job market for a lot of people, including new graduates. If you're looking to jumpstart your career into the new year, planning your
monitor's
strategy is
weird.
something you may want to start thinking about ahead of time. And here with some advice
4.
on how to get ahead in 2015 is Vice President of Communications for Career Source
gonna have
Northeast
to
Florida,
move the
Candace
camera
Moody.
once you're done
Candace,
with this
thank you for
shot.
being here.
Two.
Okay, so let's talk about
Do it
2015.
quickly.
If people are going to be thinking about getting a job, what should we be thinking
3.
about now in advance of the new year?
Well, there are a
2,
couple
1.
of
Can you
things
get
that
her?
everybody needs to be thinking about constantly,
you.
whether you're in the market for a job
1.
or not. And one of them is expanding your network. Most people get into that rut where they go to work, they go home.
Can
they
I
feed the kids,
use
they go to church,
improved
they go to bed,
network?
They get up and do it all over
Yeah.
again. And they forget about expanding their reach outside of their small division.
How do you
of
do
their
that,
small
though? How do you do that? Because
2.
I can sympathize with getting in a rut.
3.
She doesn't go out.
I don't have much of a
2.
life. I really stay home a lot.
Well, there are two places where you need to expand your network. One
3.
is online, and
I'm going to
most
keep
people,
using you
especially my
one.
baby
It's not
boomer
such a
peers,
profile shot.
are kind of
1.
lurkers on social media. But places like LinkedIn are where you should be, and really be
3.
expanding your reach, following companies, connecting with people who are in your industry.
1.
Recruiters are telling us that they spend about 80% of their time on LinkedIn and sites
Wow.
like it. So if
2.
you're not there and you're not active on it, you're not really serious about your career. And the other thing is, of course, to do it in person. Get out and
1.
meet more people. Make it a point to actually stay connected to people. Invite them for coffee once every month or two. Really stay connected with people in your industry. Join professional associations.
2.
Get out more.
Yeah, she's the one.
Yeah, they've been
saying.
telling me that forever.
So, okay, so if you're doing these things, because I'm a person who, believe it or not, I can have a shy side.
Four.
And where I might, I know, and he's like, no.
Three.
You can
Well, I
lose
might
community
meet
service.
people,
sorry.
You know, have no problem meeting them, but then it's the next step.
1.
Like, there's a thing in the back of my mind where I feel kind of this guilt of like, oh, you
2.
shouldn't just call them and ask them for a job. It seems like
1.
you're using them.
Well,
But
and you're
that's the-
exactly right. You shouldn't
4.
call them and ask them for a job.
So how do you do it? How do you take
1.
like, I met you at this fun happy hour to, can I have a job?
2.
Well, you're right. You have to start a lot
4.
earlier than that. And that's why I say everybody should be networking all the time. So there's one really
1.
easy way to take the pain out of networking, and that is forget about what's in it for you and
3.
think about what's in it for them.
4.
Offering help to them instead of asking for help. Because you're right, when you need a job,
3.
it's too late to start forming relationships. And too many people are making their resumes do
4.
what their network should be doing, which is creating champions. You know, people who know you,
1.
know your work, have seen you, and can speak on your behalf. So when you meet new people,
2.
focus on what you might be able to give them first. And then when it comes time to,
1.
to reconnect, You won't feel that guilt.
2,
You won't feel yucky.
So maybe network when you don't need a job.
Absolutely network all the
I
time.
think a quarter of my time as a business
3,
owner is going to coffees and going to lunch or going to cocktails. You always know that's going to be a good hookup.
Yeah.
You know, and just building those
2,
networks and saying, I've literally sat across from people and said, hey, how can I help
3,
you? How can we help each other? But another way that I found also is getting involved in community service.
2,
Absolutely.
It is a great way to give back. It's a great
Community
way to
service,
meet
super.
like-minded people who have the same passion and mission. And I noticed that when the economy hit, a lot of folks
3,
wanted to keep their skill set sharp, just started volunteering so they could keep something going and keep it on their resume.
And that's the smartest thing that you can do for your, if you don't know what to do
2,
to start a network, go out and volunteer.
1,
And volunteer at your highest level of contribution using your skill set. So if you're in marketing or
4,
public relations, organize events. If you're in operations
3,
management, organize volunteers. And if you're in IT, help set up a network. You're making the world a better place and you're showing off your skill set, showing who
1,
you are. So then you have a whole new group of people who have seen your work,
4,
and get references from them, and it fills in gaps on your resume
3,
as well.
Now, one of the things
2,
you also recommend is that people consider
1,
starting a sideline. Now, is that the same thing as a
2,
side hustle?
4,
Well, it depends on what business you're in.
1,
I'm just saying, I'm sure.
Legal.
It's all legal, but it's your side hustle. The thing you do on the
1,
side is your side hustle.
Well, here's what I mean by that. I think that all kinds of people worry about diversifying their investments, right?
1.
You would never have all of your investments in one place. But almost everybody has just a single source of income. And what happens then
1,
when the economy changes, we learned during the last recession how quickly things could go south. One call from New York City
2,
and 20,000 people are out of a job.
4,
So what I recommend is that people find something that they really love and that they control, whether it's buying and selling things on eBay or
2,
baking pies and selling them at the art market, or
1,
doing as I do, writing, freelancing on the side. If there's something
2,
that you do that you control, A, it feeds your soul as well as your job, while your job
1,
feeds your family. And the second thing is that when
4,
things get bad, you can go ahead and do
Wrap.
more of that if your job goes, and you'll always
3,
have that secondary source of income. A lot of people
2,
worry about, especially young people, new graduates, I
4,
want to find my passion and do it for a living. And that's great when it matches up. I'm one of the lucky ones.
3,
But if it doesn't, find something you love to do on the side and make a little money too.
Wow,
2,
that's great advice. That's really good advice.
The
Candace.
original
I think
Avon
so.
lady.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
little
I used to
multiple
sell
revenue
Avon.
generator.
Yeah, I was darn
2,
good at it.
Yep, sure. All right. Well, thank you, Candace. Like I said, it's great advice. Thanks for being here. And if you at home need
3,
any help, if you have any questions or have any employment questions, you can contact Career Source of Northeast Florida on their website, which is careersourcenefl.com. We will be right back.
All right, take a break.
Why didn't she do a tease?
It's because she does that every once in a while.
The
15,
purple is purple on the centerpiece.
10, 9. He's one of my favorites. 5 or 8, 7,
Thanks,
6,
Jason.
5, 4, 3. I'm just really excited. 2, 1 for Dr. Marks.
Oh, you getting advice on a new boo thing or something?
Yeah.
He's really.
The
Oh, there you
time
are.
of giving and
Shut up,
receiving,
Jim.
and we're not talking about gifts here. Evidence pulled from Facebook statuses updates reveal that the
Hey,
way
Jamie,
people
can you
broke
hear
up
me?
is more likely to occur during the 2 weeks before Christmas and right before Valentine's Day.
And this
And
is
it's
such a
time of
happy
year
monitor
when
for such a
relationships
sad
require a
intro.
little bit more careful handling. So joining us now
Do you
is
always have to
relationship
critique
expert
my
Dr.
work?
Richard Marks and Dr.
Yeah,
Marks
when
will
she's
dig
like, hey,
into
everybody
how
breaks
we
up
can
around
make sure and
Christmas.
tell
Look at
if
this
our
monitor of these
relationship
people
is going to
kissing.
make it. What are some of
2,
the things
It's
that we need to be on the
relationships.
lookout for?
We're going to talk about
4.
the,
It's
the
about
six top
giving.
traits of how do you know if the relationship's healthy versus
I don't know who to talk to
okay?
about this, but
So we'll just kinda
Charlene's
go
asking
through
if
those.
she
We
can
kinda
have a
talk
chair
about it.
also for
First,
the yoga
it's
segment.
real giving versus fake giving. And what the idea
Hi.
here is
What
that
was he saying?
some people,
Well,
you know,
we'd have to
Charlene
go
wants
to
a
Bonnie's
chair.
office.
but there's an unwritten expectation.
Bonnie's
if
got
I
another
do this
chair
for
just
you,
like that.
Tony,
1.
then you're supposed to do
I
something
guess she
back.
wants to do it
well,
with
that's
her.
not giving.
Oh, okay.
True giving is I
Cool.
give to you and there's no expectation
4.
in return. That's true giving. And I always tell couples, if you gave something and wanted something back,
2,
what you're really doing is bartering.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell them that
4.
you have an expectation back, and then they can decide whether they want you to do that or not. All
Can
right?
you imagine having that conversation?
Oh, crap.
Give this to you.
1.
You're going to do this for me.
I
You
know
see?
some people
Crap,
that
crap.
they'll give just because their other gave to them, and it's like that's not coming from
1.
the
Well,
heart.
it happens at Christmas. Think about it. Well, if I give you a present, then I have to give them one.
Right.
It
Two.
happens
You don't.
in any
Not
relationship.
really. If
Right.
someone gives to you, they're giving
Yeah.
with that
3.
expectation back. So that's the first one. Second,
Right.
next is,
But wait a minute. Wait,
Okay.
2.
Before we go ahead.
all right.
1.
Isn't that, though, part of compromising in a relationship? Because sometimes it is about, I don't want to go there
3,
with you. Well, I don't want to go there with you. Okay, I'll make you a deal. You come with me to
1,
this. You go to my movie this week. We go to your movie next week.
All right, now that's a little different
2,
than just pure giving. All right?
Okay.
That's a little different.
4,
That is about negotiating a solution
Okay.
that works for the relationship. All right?
Okay.
And I always argue there's things that I like
1,
to do, there's things that Luell likes to do,
2,
and there's things that us likes to do.
Okay.
And things that us likes to do, I don't necessarily like myself. Like, I don't go to the beach,
4,
but us will go to the beach.
Okay.
All right?
Because you know she likes to go to the
Yeah.
beach.
Yeah.
3,
Yeah, and us will go and hang out for a period of time, but then after
2,
a while, Rick's back there and I go, I'm
I
leaving
think
the beach.
Candace
all right?
took the mic.
So I will do things for the sake of
Do you
us
have her mic?
that I
2,
wouldn't do myself. That make sense?
Okay.
And
As
so,
long as
1,
you don't make her feel guilty for
2,
the fact that you're doing it.
well, if I'm making
3,
her feel guilty, then I'm not really doing it for us, then am I?
Let's put those in.
What I'm doing
Let me
is called
find
placating
my
or appeasing. And placating
Twitter
or appeasing
response.
someone
4,
actually creates resentment long term.
Nicole, I'm gonna put in 2
There's no
tweets for
true
you.
giving in that,
Okay.
all right?
Got it.
Next is accepting someone for who
2,
they are unconditionally versus wanting to change
Get your
them
super
into who you
first,
want
yeah.
them to be.
and it's
Okay.
after this one.
I put it in
Say that again?
after D4. You want me to move it?
Accepting someone for
4,
who they
no,
are means
I'll
I have
get
to
it.
accept Luell
I
with her
think,
faults
yeah, I see it.
and her strengths. She has both. I love her unconditionally.
2,
As opposed to, well, I love you, Eddie, but I'm going to change you into
1,
my
I
image
got
of
you.
what I want
got
you
you.
to
Yeah,
be.
that'll never happen.
So now, I have a question on that.
Two.
I have a question on that as
All right.
well.
Okay, go ahead.
She'll
1,
want to be her husband.
Go ahead.
2,
Does that count with everything? I mean, what if it's something like, you know, you eat your soup too loud. Can you
3,
please be more quiet when you do that? You know, what if it's like, you leave the toilet
Manners.
seat up?
There you go.
You know, what if
Like
it's
manners that actually might not
doesn't-
look good when that person is out in
Right.
public.
That's
You're trying to help them.
That's
Well,
not changing
yeah.
them. That's just like, you know.
No, that's just that's
4,
about negotiating
Right, upgrading.
differences and those kind of things. Accepting someone means I don't throw you away because you
2,
do things that I don't like. You
Okay.
find ways to negotiate
4,
differences and solve problems.
That's
With
if
me?
you want the relationship to work.
2,
You know,
Well, let me
1,
say this real quick here, and our listeners
Second
really
one's
need to
ready.
hear this. What predicts distress and divorce 90%
4,
of the time is communication and problem
I
solving
know it.
skills.
I know it. Yeah.
That is what
1,
predicts it. So all the things we're really talking about right now can be solved if you have good skills. for
If you have good
communicating.
communication.
And problem
So it is
3,
important, like Tony said, if there's something that really bothers you, that
To communicate.
to communicate that
Yes.
instead of like sitting on your hands and not saying anything,
Yep.
because it'll come to a head
3,
eventually.
Right.
And then-
Yeah.
I remember
There you
when I started dating.
oh good,
seriously
2,
dating,
it's going.
Mark, I think he was the first man that could have become my husband. And my mom saying, you
Oh.
just need to make
Well, I was about to give him a 1.
pros and
Jamie,
cons,
you
but
freaked me out.
the things that you could
I was like, what?
absolutely
Oh my
3,
God.
no,
live
she's
She's
with
about to
and
curse.
enjoy, and the things that you cannot live with, 100%. And
2,
decide what's longer on that list and what you
3,
can change in yourself to go, okay, I can
Like
live with the
beards.
chewing or
Like
the beers.
beers. Like
2,
Or the this,
Beers
or the
are
fact
deal
that
breakers.
he may not
What
work
Casey's trying to move it along.
God
1,
or whatever, and it really stood by.
2,
It stood with me. And my mom and dad
3,
have been married for 40 plus years. 40, I'm 43, so that 45, 6 years, 47 years actually. 47 years it is.
2,
I'm getting it
is,
now.
kind of, but
These little tricks I didn't know
witnessed
about.
them go through this
3,
exact same thing every single day, where she goes, "I love him like you don't
Wrapped
love
him a
him."
minute early to get out
I'll
on
put up
time.
with those things
2,
that you wouldn't put up with him because I love him differently than you do, and it's so
Exactly
beautiful.
right.
Rap.
Exactly
I
right.
appreciate
4,
that.
Yeah, we always say in our work that
I just
love
gave
bends
everybody a
towards
rap.
others. Love always will bend towards another person. So you're not going to
is
be
that a
patient
segment
because you're
rap or
slow.
just
Uh-huh.
a Leanne's a
Like
rap?
it is
Okay.
a-
That's a
2,
wrap it up.
All right? But why would I divorce you over that? I mean, come on.
Right.
One.
That's
Bigger
not
things-
really why.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
that
skip
kind of
through all
thing.
these
And
CGs
so,
to
so really giving here, genuine desire versus personal
Rap
partner.
when you can.
The idea here is that
4,
people
giving
who
them
are
a
healthy
rap
relationships, they
also.
genuinely desire to meet
Okay.
their partner's needs, as opposed to I'm pushing her
1,
and pushing her to get her to meet my needs. So those people who really
2,
have a healthy relationship really desire to meet their person's their spouse's
Casey's
needs or
trying.
their
She's
partner's
giving
needs
all the
in a
visual
way that's
cues
really about fulfilling
that we're
them
over
and
it.
helping them.
Well,
Okay.
unfortunately, we've run out of time.
2,
But thank you.
You're very welcome.
She looked me dead in my eye and was
We
like,
need more segments with you because
do.
there's clearly more than then
Well,
then
I
we can
will
talk
come
about.
back as much as you
4.
want. That's for sure.
We need to have a show
Two.
in which one show you just spend with Henry,
So much for the
and
rap.
one you just spend with me,
Why have to be
and
a whole
one with
show?
Cleanza. No, each
Two.
one of
As
us
we fade
would
to
do
black.
it. Because I think like we're kind of.
And one with Justin, who's doing this number
doing
right
this,
here.
which means we gotta go.
We just get a hologram.
We do, but listen, all of you ladies, write down Dr. Marks'
2.
information, because if you have any questions about today or anything else that you see here, you can go to his Facebook page.
Stand
or
by
go to
for
his
random
website, which
going
is
to break.
livethelife.org. Still to come in the chat.
To
Rumors
push out
surrounding
on
Walt
2.
Clooney
Oh, she
and
did it.
pregnancy.
Look at her.
That plus other stories and celebrity scoops coming up with Tony, and that's next.
2. And just go away.
We should be fine. Like, what are these little kicker stories? Do they chat about those, or what's the deal with that?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mike, you can't see.
All right, welcome back to the chat. Let's catch up on all the celebrity gossip now
2.
from none other than Tony Fox. What do you got?
Okay, I hate this first story.
Oh,
It's
about
gotta
your
be
baby
George
James.
This is my George Clooney.
Fine.
Okay, here's the deal. The baby rumors are heating up again. I know before you say, whatever. It's because of this picture of Amal Clooney. I mean, it looks like she has a baby bump. Like, really a baby bump. Look at that picture. Doesn't that look like a baby bump?
No.
No, you don't think so? I think it's totally. They were just leaving
It
somewhere
does,
after
but
they had
she-
dinner with friends. Look how handsome
As a
George
person
is.
who's been
Yeah,
falsely
really,
accused of
I
being
think it was a
pregnant, I don't
murder.
like to say that about other
2.
people.
You think she just
Because I
gained a
just
little
gained
too
weight.
much?
Nobody
Let's
told
do
me
it
I was
right.
gaining weight.
Messing up that body.
2.
They just whispered and was like, I think she's...
1.
Nope.
Almost positive
Just picked up
that they
15
were
pounds
not
and nobody
going to
told
have
me.
sex. Ever.
Wait, what?
You also got married.
Yes, that was my wedding weight.
Yeah. Men do the same thing when they get married.
Well, now his rep,
2.
it's like denies. It's not a non-denial
1.
where it's like, they just didn't say anything. No, his rep
4.
came out and said, Amal Clooney is not pregnant. I feel
1.
better.
Okay, well,
Two.
In the chat was sued by George Clooney.
Must love this because now the pressure's off of her.
right.
Oh,
Yeah, right. I think I saw Us Weekly. I think she was on the cover of that the other day. She's not going
Every other week. Every other week.
Next story.
Nobody's talking about any of our baby bumps. I'm good.
Let's move on to Kate
Amen.
Hudson. She has broken up, speaking of baby daddies, she's broken up with her second baby daddy, her fiance, Matt Bellamy, who is the lead singer of Muse. They were engaged for like 3 years. They have a 3-year-old. You do the math. So, yeah, it just didn't work out. So she is currently dating
1.
Derek Huff from Dancing with the Stars.
So she
That's
got out
Two.
and went into another already.
That is Kate Hudson.
1.
Yeah, she has 2 children, 2 baby daddies. So she's got a good little record going.
Yeah.
Nice little streak.
2.
And she loves the rocker types
1.
because her ex-husband was the lead singer for the Black Crowes. And this was the lead singer for
The
Muse.
dreadlock dude?
So,
And now she's calling a dancer.
Yeah.
the analogy?
But it's very musical oriented.
Yes.
There you
Is
go.
it interesting coming from parents who were together for so long who were never married,
1.
right?
Although
Jamie, you're hilarious. You're like,
her
no.
Goldie was married
Duh.
to Kate's father.
Father.
Yeah.
All right,
But then
sorry.
Kurt and Goldie were never married. So yeah,
But that's who she grew up with. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an interesting little place.
Yeah,
2.
absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt that.
2.
Next.
Let's move on to hot guy talk. Remember
Okay.
Price is Right we talked about last Friday that
Oh,
they were going to choose a male
yeah.
model, and
Yeah.
actually we were going to choose from one of
4.
these gorgeous 3 young men. Well, one has been chosen. America has voted for James as the new Price is Right male model. How about James modeling your refrigerator? There you go.
Modeling what next to what? What was that he was standing next to?
it doesn't matter,
I
as long as
don't
we
even
see
notice.
him.
How about James waiting for me in my
Sure.
refrigerator?
That's
soon?
right. So James is going to do his little
1.
modeling stint next week on the Price
Surprised
is
they're not
Right.
saying
So
how unfair it is they
definitely
could go
check the
topless.
Cute. That is cute. Okay.
2.
Speaking
it?
of getting the
Are they
DVR going
confused?
tonight, The Voice.
Oh.
They go from 5 to 3. 2 people get eliminated.
4.
So this is going to be the top 3 on The Voice. This is a big deal.
Did you guys watch last night?
2.
I didn't. Did you watch?
I
I kind of watched a little. But
I did.
There's
And?
video for this.
Is it from last night?
Yep.
just
Take
wondering.
it.
I was wondering.
And there's
Adam
stats
Levine is
on
really
it.
cute.
1.
And I play Chapman. And no, it's you know what? When it gets to this point on that kind of talent, on that kind of talent type
Now
of
you'll
show, it's just
Yeah.
unreal. And
But someone made an observation about the voice
this dude
winners.
right here,
Yeah.
love,
Okay.
love.
But the people have said the winners on The Voice, they don't really go on to fame and fortune like they do on American Idol.
Well,
I don't know if
American
that's
Idol
necessarily
hasn't done very well in that regard for a few years.
Since Carrie Underwood.
But The Voice hasn't been doing too badly. It's just they start more slowly and they kind of build it up.
They just have more interest. I think
One.
they have more interesting talent. Like those two gentlemen, and I wish that I remembered their
30.
names. It's
Two.
late for me.
It's an entertaining show.
But it's
Four.
entertaining, and
Yeah.
some of them write, you know, they're
One.
playing their guitars and they're doing their thing. And I am so impressed with just the talent in general and
Two.
how they switch it up
Rap.
week to week and make their voices so different, and how those coaches truly
Three.
do mentor them. And I feel care so deeply for them.
Two.
Casey is
on that
hilarious.
level,
Yeah,
going,
she
okay, we know this
always
is
making
so
faces.
rough.
That
to the
foot
camera.
shaking.
Yep. 8 o'clock NBC tonight.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you.
This is the voice.
There you go. Just like that.
Four.
We're going to talk about relieving stress through yoga. Paula Coughlin is going to join us next with Charlene, and we will be right back.
And two. B. Take it.
To vote on here to see the results on the web.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand by. And my cue. You can bring it down. I'm gonna stop it. And then we're gonna play it again.
Time to decompress, particularly during this holiday season. But beating stress doesn't have to be yet another thing on your to-do list. You know, exercise, make stress go away. Well, here to show us how to erase the day of chaos without getting out of our chair, Paula Coughlin, director of Ocean Yoga. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Two.
Right, first, everything is so stressful, and sometimes we're like literally as we're doing our holiday shopping or the time that we're supposed to be enjoying this holiday, we're sitting in line freaking out. So what's your advice?
Well, my
Four.
biggest piece of advice is to slow down just long enough to pay attention to how you're breathing. And a lot of times that can come by just noticing, if you bring your hand to your ribs and
One.
take a full breath in without touching our
I'm
microphone.
gonna start playing this
Exactly.
music,
There you go. I want to do
Jason.
that.
What?
And
I'm
you
gonna
can
play
do this
B.
standing in line, you can do this seated at your desk, you can do it in the car, in traffic, but just
Four.
slowing down, being present, and noticing how your body is naturally inclined to move
One.
with an inhale and an
Look at
exhale.
Casey.
And if the exhale has a little bit of a hum, it's very soothing. And that would be the first thing I would always
For
describe
one
to
day,
anyone,
I'm gonna
to slow
take
down
that
and
shot.
I thought you were about to. That was hilarious. That one's
That'll
funny
be your last
too.
day, and that won't go on your resume tape.
If you're seated at your desk in the car, and I know you can
Oh my God, I wish we were rolling on it.
Tony's listening over there.
If you're in a commute and you're experiencing some stress from reading your email in the car and stuck in traffic, I tell people to move from the middle.
Four.
Take a full breath. Like there's light inside of you that
One.
you're trying to stretch all the way up to the sides of your
It's
neck.
every
to the
time we
front
do
of
one
your
of
neck.
these segments,
And
and
you can do
Casey's
this
sitting over there, I have
by
a perfect
touching your
shot
shoulders, by
for
touching your chest,
of her making
reaching
these
up.
terrible, terrible
You can
faces.
do it one arm at a time,
One.
two arms at the same
Well,
time.
this actually feels so good because I carry a lot of stress in my
Four.
neck and in
You
my
need to take three.
shoulders.
And it's very limited movement.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
need
they
a
were
lot
doing
of
it.
space. But I also describe
One.
it as like slow motion photography. You want
I'll
to take
keep
a
an eye
full
on it.
breath
Yeah,
and
that was a weird
move
jump
with
cut.
that inhale and exhale,
Four.
like a slow flower blossoming very slowly. So the
Flower
movement can be
blossoming
from
very slowly.
here up
One.
and stretch it up, and then just swim your arms away around
Four.
really slowly, or lift the shoulders with the inhale.
Is that her
and
mic?
exhale. And
Two.
Yeah, it's rubbing against because it's on a
Must be
t-shirt.
her mic rubbing against her shirt.
It's rubbing against her shirt because it's straight on her shirt, and I can't get it to do it otherwise. I didn't have time to tape it.
Or seated. Well, again, you want to follow with a nice tall breath,
Four.
and then as you just easily turn from side to side. And I tell people
One.
to keep
Oh,
your
that
butt
feels
kind
good.
of rooted back into your chair,
Two.
and grow tall from the center, and turn a little bit, and then pause.
Four.
Notice what's happening, and you can turn back to the center.
One.
And even then, if you stop in the middle, you'll notice one side feels different than the other.
When she put her hand
good.
up
Yeah,
the
it
first
feels
time,
really
in your
good.
shoulders.
move the mic.
And then, if you're not stuck in the car, or if you have a little bit of room,
Four.
you can actually turn from one side and take your
Two.
knee down towards the floor, and then kind of affect
Please,
a
Charlene,
big
don't do that.
inhale
Four.
and a
Don't
little
do that,
bit more.
Charlene.
And this is a nice stretch.
Luckily,
releasing
it's
across the front
Charlene
of your
doing this
hips.
segment one, and she won't.
I know.
She
And
wouldn't.
So she's not going to
The other ones, I don't know
But
about.
again,
Tony
being
would stick
seated
it right
now,
out, dress and
I
all.
like to kind of press
Not
my
Tony
even think about it.
Leanza.
sides of the chair legs,
1.
And lean
Or
just
4,
a little
sorry.
bit forward, root your hips back, and fold right at the
1.
crease of your hips.
Red.
Just to let your chest open
2.
a bit more.
1.
And your spine grows long away from the back
4.
of the chair. And that kind of movement just really elongates the whole
1.
inner body so you can breathe easier. And it's a palpable release of
4.
stress through the sides of your neck, down the sides of your body. And you'll notice a couple of inhales and exhales with
1.
that kind of movement also releases your jaw. So
4.
I tell people, even if you can't move because you're stuck in line for a Super Saver
30.
event for a Christmas present, you can still breathe
1.
and kind of roll your eyes around a little bit and
4.
open and close your jaw nice and wide. There's so much stress in our jaw.
You got
I don't know
7
if you've
for
ever
now.
noticed that.
Take.
But you can kind of tell when people are stressed just by the look on their face.
1.
So if you smile, that's always a really nice
Wrap.
stress reducer too.
4.
As you wrap up, what are the most important
One.
bottom when you want to de-stress, whether you're online or in the car?
I tell people, notice where you are.
4.
Take a full, nice, tall breath in, and exhale, count your blessings.
Count your blessings.
Count your blessings. You're here, you're breathing. That's got to be a good start.
Amen, Paula. Thank you so much for being here.
You're
Well,
welcome.
thanks for joining us, Paul. For more information about Ocean Yoga Center, you can visit the website oceanyoga.biz. We'll be right back, everybody.
Thanks.
You can just keep this music.
Nice. Thank you.
And take it. Just a peaceful
Okay,
ending
I've got
for
your
this non-peaceful
web
show.
ready.
Well, I put it in the monitor behind Casey.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think if you make it, I don't know, sometimes it cuts off something, but that doesn't look bad at all.
What about right there? Is that?
Oh, crap.
I made that a little bit
Hey.
bigger.
Stand by.
You know, when I was in, it was like,
Stand by.
all you have to do is
Come on.
I don't like that.
Mike, you.
Before we go, there seems to be a growing number of dogs taking rides with their owners on motorcycles, and people have compiled these online to check out some of the pups, all sizes, cruising along with their masters on the buckets on the sides of bikes. Very cool.
Yeah, and Shad Khan's yacht's got nothing on this one. It is a yacht that looks like a Batmobile.
We're just gonna,
Let's
okay.
check out the mega
Roll and
yacht
see.
called
That
the
one,
Exhibition.
Twitter's out.
Wow.
Wow.
I know. Well, listen, it's got a jacuzzi, a helipad, and a Steinway piano.
Wow, 3.
Minute 30.
Solar panels fold out from under the deck to power the boat. The price of the 229-foot wide vessel is on application only.
Wow.
In other words, if you have to ask,
You
you
can't
can't
afford it.
There,
Who
okay.
owns that? Is that
That
for
thing.
sale or
That
does
one's
someone
out.
own it?
It's for sale.
Okay, there you go.
One.
And by the way,
that's
we
pretty
asked you
cool.
earlier
2.
about the poll on the story about the mother of the 9-year-old. She's getting a lot of
Poll's up.
criticism for her daughter's sexualized pictures. Is it wrong for kids that young to
1.
model? 33% of you said no, young people need models too. And then 50% of you said yes. Why do kids have to be the subject of all of that pressure at such a young age? And just 17% said it depends on the photo style and the individual kid's well-beings. Interesting.
Well, the mom said that this is the thing she does for fun because she's in all these sports and gymnastics. And where do they live? Russia?
Yeah.
And it's like, by the time they commute
You can
to
get
school,
Charlene
like,
on
this
thing.
is the one thing she gets to do where she
Yeah.
has fun and plays dress up. And
Is that a
so-
new Twitter one?
Month, I think she
Yeah.
Right.
said.
But
30.
if you think about it, it might be leading towards a college education for her, too.
Yeah.
You know, that money now, who knows?
Or she could just become the next Giselle Bundchen.
One.
It won't matter.
But at 9 years old, but at 9 years old,
2.
can you really say if you don't want to do something?
15.
You want to say,
Not in my house.
Wait, have you met a 9-year-old lately?
wait, I'm just saying, like a 9-year-old, if
Oh, I
she
gave
really
him
doesn't
that a
want
little
to do
early. I
the
cheated
photos,
him.
You know, I mean, is her mom
Oh,
going to say,
it
no,
sounds-
you should do it?
You know, it sounds like her mom would be okay
10.
with that. At least
9.
that's what the
Yeah.
mom sounds
8.
like.
All right, we'll see you back
7.
tomorrow, 3 p.m.
6.
Conversation
Watching
continues
everybody.
on.
5.
I'll see you back here
4.
tomorrow. Bye.
3. 2. 1.
B.
And we're done. All right.
Death Star.